Good evening. My grandmother was famous for saying, maybe there's only 3 things you have to do in life: live, die, and be influential. We all have the living part down, and we can worry about the dying part later. So as we move on from receiving our new degrees, I implore you to do all you can to be influential. As educators, we have the opportunity to take some of the most influential, lasting impacts, whether positive or negative, on our students. Ultimately, we set the standard for our students of what it means to be a leader, influencer, and model citizen. During our short time here at the University of Tampa, we have had the invaluable opportunity to delve into a facet of education that many only know enough about to complain. We have studied and prepared and undertaken the Herculean task of being an educational administrator. From the start of our program, we felt embraced by our professors here at the University of Tampa. We were at all times interested in our learning and truly inspired by the possibilities. I know we all hold great gratitude for this program's commitment to making a substantial contribution to the growth of us as leaders and educators. Throughout the program, my cohort and I pushed through the long nights and realized that we all possess and exemplify grit. Not grit like the leftover sand from the time we went to the beach like 6 months ago that we just can't get out of our car, but the grit like hard work and never giving up, even when you fail. Angela Duckworth popularized the term grit, meaning the passion and perseverance for long-term goals. The kind of grit should be ingrained in each one of us like the sand is in my car's floorboards. As up-and-coming leaders, we must take grit with us and use it to influence others. One way to think about grit is to consider what grit is. Grit isn't talent. Grit isn't luck. Grit isn't how intensely, for the moment, you want something. Instead, grit is about having what some researchers call an ultimate concern. A goal that you care so much about that it gives meaning to almost everything you do in every facet of your life. Grit is holding steadfast to the goal even when you fall. Grit is holding steadfast to that goal even when you screw up. Grit is holding steadfast to that goal even when progress towards the goal is halting or slow. Talent and luck may seem to be great contributors to success. However, neither of those can compare to the contribution that the perseverance and resilience of grit lend to success. Now, as I stand here tonight, I charge all of you and myself to carry the grit that we demonstrated during our graduate work with us as we continue to be leaders and influencers in education. I charge us to live with grit. Now, the question some of you may be asking me is, how do we continue to live with grit? Well, I have a couple of steps to help us. First, model it. The one thing I know for sure when I think of my cohort is that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we love what we do. We should always allow others to see the passion that we have for whatever we are doing. Let us wear our passion on our sleeves. But not only that, let us wear our failures on our sleeves. Not as a mark of defeat, but as a badge of honor that we were able to learn something and get back up after we were knocked down. As educators, we see all too often students and adults who are quick to give up in the face of a difficult challenge. It is especially important that we in educational leadership exemplify and model the characteristics of grit so that others can see what it looks like and hopefully begin to embody it as well. The second step to living with grit is to celebrate it in others as well as in yourself. When you see another person, whether they're a student, teacher, staff member, parent, or other person you come into contact with, exemplify grit. Draw attention to it. When a student sticks with something, especially when they've been struggling significantly, a simple comment of, "Your work this past semester has demonstrated enormous dedication. I know it wasn't easy," can mean the world to that student and encourage them to stick with things even if they are hard in the future. Along those lines, praise passion. When you praise passion, especially if a person is unsure or ashamed of their interest or passion in a subject of activity, you encourage them to keep growing in their knowledge. Sadly, educational curiosity and creativity is drastically declining in American schools. However, when people feel validated in their passions, they're happier and more excited and curious to explore the new things. Many of the innovations that we now are products of someone whose passion for something was praised and their grit was encouraged. The last step to living with grit that I have for you is to enable it. The core of grit, or the nitty-gritty, if you will, is the steely determination of individuals is made possible by the warmth and support of friends, families, teachers, and mentors. As a part of the University of Tampa's Educational Leadership Cohort, we were encouraged to hold tight to our commitment to the program, even when we wanted to give up in the middle of that summer semester. Because it was worth it. It is imperative that we encourage others, especially those who will be leaders of tomorrow, to keep going, even when going gets tough. Just as storms are an inevitable and unavoidable form of weather, so are challenges an inevitable and unavoidable part of living. Always remember, though, that after every storm, whether it be physical or metaphorical, the sun will always come out shining. Just look at us shining so brightly today. I'm sure that each and every one of us can distinctly remember at least one person who had a profound impact on our lives by encouraging us and enabling us with the characteristics of perseverance and resilience in us that eventually became the grit that we have proven to have throughout this program. It is our duty as educational leaders to pass on our grit by enabling it in others. I say all of this to say that perhaps the most powerful way that we can be influential is to exemplify, celebrate, and enable grit. The University of Tampa's Department of Education has graciously endowed us with this knowledge and the skill to exhibit grit in our professional careers. It is now our mission, our purpose, to go out, encourage grit in others, and be influential. Thank you.